Hello, welcome back to Unscripted. I have not recorded a video in a while, but as there's not many of you following me, I doubt anyone would have noticed. But I'm back, and today I wanted to talk about the whole conversation around AI and around um, how can we stay truly human in this age of AI where um, you can get it to write your emails for you. It can give you advice on love. It can tell you what to do for your weekend. It can literally tell you everything. So what then continues to separate us and make us human and make us still, I guess, worthy of being valuable assets to this earth. That's quite deep, but I feel like it's just moving at such a fast pace that it's really hard to keep up with. And I think for me, it's been quite illuminating with the integration of AI and um, social media in how our lives are literally run for us or determined for us by either other people and the comparison to them. So, social media, constant scrolling and comparing yourself to this person's buying a house, this person's getting married, this person's having a baby. And so you're always constantly comparing yourself to them, as well as with AI, it's taking away your ability to think. I noticed when the first sort of GPT models came out and we were all sort of using them to plan travel and do bits and pieces, I did notice myself just copy pasting whatever came out of there. And after using it quite a bit more, I realized, hold up, if this can if I'm just going to copy paste everything from here into my emails, or um, when I'm trying to write a text or something, if I want to get a point across, like, what value do I have? So I think, I guess the learnings that I'm wanting to impart from my own experience is, first of all, that you have to use your critical like thinking to analyze what it said and whether it's actually what you feel is right or not. I was doing a survey for work the other day, and I was asking the AI to sort of analyze the questions and make suggestions. And it's, of course, going to make some good suggestions, but it doesn't mean I can just copy paste exactly what it said. It still means I need to take that language that it's used, put it into the company's language, as well as alter some words, or even rewrite it so it makes sense to the organization. So you really need to not just take it as word. And also, everyone knows when you've used AI, the tone of voice is so different to how you would possibly usually write. So use that critical thinking, analyze whether this is actually what you meant to say and what you wanted to say, or um, whether you need to make some changes. The second one is, I think there is going to be a growth in the humanity side of things. So, humanity jobs that maybe weren't as exciting to the Silicon Valley people, the Silicon Valley tech companies, as maybe more the maths focused jobs that they were looking for. So now, because coding and things are just all done for AI by AI so much quicker, the ability to be truly human is going to be a skill that companies will look for going forward. So hold on. And so if you are It's so hard to like give any sort of advice if you're thinking of going into the workplace, or about to start studying, or just finishing university. Like, it's so hard to predict what is a good thing to go into and what's gonna be big, or for the next few years that you can at least start your career, or if you had a pivot in your life, like what to go into. From the research I've done, it does seem like the humanity side of things is gonna um, surface to the top of roles. Now, what does that actually look like? For me, that looks like the ability to, you know, listen to people. So I spoke in my previous video about coaching, like rarely listen to people. If someone's sitting next to you and talking to you and you busy on AI somewhere on the side, or on your phone comparing yourself to people on social media, like focus on that listening. You really need to harness that as a skill in the future for your work. It's also things around like building communities and networking. Um, that's something I'm quite driven about at the moment. I've made a few videos on this. Is how can we truly build communities at the moment? Another sort of thought I was having recently was like, I wish sometimes that we all, like all my friends, just lived in the same building, because on social media you see your friends doing different things with different groups of friends, and it doesn't like, sometimes you can think it means that they're leaving you out or they don't want to include you. um, I don't think that's the case most of the time. But for me, sometimes it's like, I should message that person, I should message that person. And when you need to spend time to go see just one person in your very limited weekend, that um, dilutes the amount of time you can spend with each friend. By the time you've seen all of them and it gets 6 months' time, you're like, okay, now I need to restart. So I don't know what the answer to that is, because it is difficult, especially in like a city in London where everyone is so, you know, split out across the city, and it's so big. It's hard to try say to everyone, okay, let's all just live in a commune. That would be nice, but not possible. Um, but that's, I think the point I'm trying to make there is, when you are building community, what I would have in mind is, where can we maximize the amount of connection between people? So having multiple people in a room getting to know each other, while also not diluting it too much so that there's too many people in the room and everyone just sticks to their cliques and sticks and talks to the one person they know. So that's an interesting question. Um, I think the final sort of topic I wanted to talk about in this video is something I came across where they talk about work-life integration versus work-life balance. So more and more your work life and social life and home life and personal life are all sort of blending into one. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Um, it is a bad thing if you sitting having socializing with friends and you're just sitting on your phone and working the whole time. I think that's a bad thing. But if you are able to sort of separate yourself from what you're doing, or create some sort of cohesion between where it feels right to do that work, or it feels right to completely separate from it. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I used to feel like on the weekend I would just completely switch off my laptop and not look at it again. But nowadays, if these days I'm sort of like, I could fit in a few hours here. It's not going to affect my mental health. It's not going to feel like I'm doing more work than I should be doing, but it just feels like I'm allowing myself to get ahead for the week ahead, as well as maybe during the week, I can take a little bit of extra time in the morning to go to the gym. And that sort of like self management and autonomy is what is going to integrate yourselves with AI, with work, and have that sort of cohesion and a life where you are fulfilled while also, working hard and being able to build those communities. So more and more, like if I get invited to a networking event, I'll actually invite a few friends that I haven't seen in a while, because I'll get to catch up with them. I'll probably meet a few other people at that event, and it's still also work. So it's like that integration is the best way to put it, of those lives. Um, so as a summary to this video, work-life balance is integrated, not balanced these days. Find a way to critical think in times of AI, and find a way to build those communities with people. Find a way to enhance your people skills. Now, what that actually means is, I think I've hinted to a few things in this video, but I would like to say, do your own research into how you work as a person, without becoming so focused on becoming like so self-aware and self-deprecating, but find how you work in social situations and in work situations, and how you are perceived, and find a way to harness that energy into becoming more human and applying that humanness to critical thinking and your work and your life and your work-life integration. A few topics, but follow, like, and subscribe for more topics by me, Frank Dollar, on Unscripted conversations about work and life. Thank you, and have a great day.